Playing anywhere on the fretboard does not just require scales. It requires something actually a lot more simple. And if you were ever wondering, is there a formula that you can use to play lead guitar in any key, in any style, in any genre, I'm here to give you that formula. And it's really, really beautiful once you see it. And you might be wondering, if you're new here, who is this guy talking about guitar formulas? My name is Ty Keller. I just played a gig 2 nights ago for hundreds of people on stage. This is what I use all the time, and it works every time if you apply it. And in this video, I'm gonna walk you through step by step how you can use it and apply it to your guitar playing right now, so you never have to be lost on the fretboard ever again. So here's why scales do not get you where you want to get to. Let's just assume you start with the minor pentatonic, right? And you learn all 5 of the patterns. Or maybe you realize, because you've done some research and you've learned some songs, that pattern 1 is the scale of scales, as I like to say. Some people might disagree with me, but based on my experience and 10,000 hours of playing guitar, I found that that is the pattern. And I call it the home base. Now, if you've gone further on your journey on the guitar and you're trying to figure out, well, I got this pretty good, what else do I do? Well, there's an extended pentatonic pattern 1, which just links pattern 2. And then you might learn about pattern 4. And like, okay, this is great. And you probably learn how to use those in the key of C and the key of G, which are the keys we love. Because C doesn't have any sharps or flats, and G just has 1 sharp, and it's pretty similar to the key of C. Just a little nuance difference. You'll notice that if you did F, it's also very close as well. So, after the pentatonic, you might learn the 3-note per string system and the modes, or maybe you learn the cage system because you're trying to implement the whole major scale. Well, I'm here to tell you there's a better way, in my experience, to do it than just to go out and learn more scales and think that more is better. And what I call this framework is the 3-5-7 framework. And before I explain it to you and I show you how it works and everything, I want to tell you about Kevin. So Kevin has been studying with me for a while, and he wanted to go out and put himself out there. He's a singer-songwriter mostly, but he also was interested in lead guitar. So I showed him this framework, and he went to a jam session, and he was having a great time. And towards the end, somebody tapped him on the shoulder, and the guy was like, "How did you know what key she was in?" And he responded, "I just used my ear." But really, he didn't want to give my formula away. But he basically just implemented this formula, and if you implement it and you use it and you practice it, it works every time. It's what I do every time. And I haven't found anything that's simpler or easy. Because one of my favorite mentors, he once said, "Simplicity is brilliance." And you're gonna learn this later, hopefully. I mean, maybe there's an exception, but I've always found that less is actually more. So, how does this formula work? What does it work? How does it work? What does it mean? What does 3-5-7 mean? Well, let's start with the 3. So the 3, if you didn't know, a triad or a chord is just 3 notes. A 1, a 3, and a 5. Now it's a lot easier, in my opinion, to use these chord tones to navigate the fretboard than it is to remember 5 patterns or 7 patterns and 7 positions. And then even if you did do that and you got really good at, say, the key of G with the cage system, it falls apart completely when you're in other keys. Like say you're in the key of D. You gonna know what to do? So the 3 stands, it's a triad. And this is basically your touch points, okay? The 5 is a pentatonic that links to these touch points. So there's 3, and then you're gonna play a 5-note scale on these 3. And then once you know where the pentatonics are, you can play the 7-note minor or major scale. Because let's face it, the minor pentatonic and the major pentatonic, they're the same thing. The minor scale and the major scale, they're basically the same thing. And when you realize this, that simplicity is brilliance and less is more, this is how it works. So that is the 3-5-7 formula. Now, I'm going to get the process in for you because it's a 3-step process. The 3-5-7 formula. So number 1, you have to remember the cage system and the mode system, those are modal or they're major frameworks. Because the cage, it's the major, but again, the major scale and the minor scale are the same thing. So I've just decided to just go with the minor, all right? So here's what you do if you want to apply this, because this works in every single key. This is for if you want to master, not just the guitar fretboard, but just master music, because it connects with everything, all right? My lighting got a bit strange there. Okay, maybe it'll adjust. All right, so step 1 is you must establish what is the tonic. This is very important because, for example, in the band I'm in, a lot of the songs we play are in the Lydian mode. And if you don't know what that means, you need to start learning what it means. So F Lydian is the same as C Ionian. We're playing all the chords in the key of C, but we're starting on the F chord. So if you thought that the tonic was F, you're gonna be wrong. Or if it was in G Mixolydian and you thought the tonic is G, you're gonna be wrong. And you're gonna correct for it and you're gonna get confused like I did. So this is why, this is the formula, and it works every time. It'll work every time for you, I promise. And I have another video I'll make right after this to demonstrate it in real time. And it'll probably be a long video, so it gives my hands plenty of time to warm up so I don't just pick up my guitar cold and try to impress you with my guitar playing with my cold fingers. I gotta get them heated up, you know? Anyways, so the first thing you have to do is establish the tonic. If you don't establish the tonic, then you're gonna get confused. So let's assume that the tonic is C, okay? So that's step 1, you figure it out. Even though you're starting on an F chord, all the chords are in the key of C. C is the tonic. So step 2 is you have to figure out what the relative minor is. And I would recommend, and this, if you want this wheel, you can send me a message and be like, Ty, send me this wheel. I'm gonna try to zoom in so you can see it. But I have the relative minor very small on the wheel. And the reason for that is I believe as a lead guitar player, you need to start memorizing where the relative minors are or being able to find in real time where they are. So step 1, find the tonic. Step 2, find the relative minor. If the tonic is C, the relative minor is A minor, okay? So that's step 2. And then step 3 is just finding the touch points, which are those triads or those chord tones. And then once you find the touch points, then you start adding in the 5-note scale. Because if you just play a 1, 3, and a 5, it's gonna get pretty boring pretty quick. And even with pentatonics, depending on the style of music you're playing, you can get, basically pentatonics is for rock music. And then if you're using major and minor chords, you can use all 7 notes of the major minor scale. They're the same thing in my opinion. And then later, if you start using major, minor, and dominant 7 chords, you can use all 12 chromatic tones. But these touch points, these 3 triads, these 3 positions, this is what the pros are doing. Is they're just, I just like to say pattern 1 pentatonic and pattern 4 pentatonic, or I call it the HBO, home base, pattern 1, bridge, pattern 2, and outpost, pattern 4. But it's easier to just use these touch points to navigate once you start figuring out where your root notes are on the fretboard, which is a whole nother problem for a whole other video, which is actually learning this theory stuff. Because a lot of people think theory will ruin your creativity, or they learn the textbook theory stuff without application, which I believe knowledge to application, you gotta learn something and then you apply it immediately. So what I just gave you, look up a backing track in the key of C, or look up F Lydian or G Mixolydian. I told you the tonic is C. Find the relative minor, and then find the touch points. But you're probably wondering what the touch points are, which I'm going to explain and demonstrate in the next video. So I just gave you the formula, the exact formula. Tonic, relative minor, you find the touch points. And you're gonna be able to find those touch points on the fretboard. Just look, you can either use the minor triad, so if it was the key of C, it'd be A, C, E, or you could use the major triad, which is C, E, G. And you find those triad positions on either the E, the B, and the G string, or the D, the G, and the B string. Just 3 notes. And remember, they're just touch points. Because 3 you're going to sound boring. Then you add in the 5-note pentatonic, and then you add in 7, and then you have the whole minor major scale, and then later you can add in all 12. But you're not going to probably want to use all 12 unless you're playing minor, major, dominant 7 chords in your compositions, which again is for another video. So hopefully this cleared some things up. If you want to actually see me using this in real time to show you, then you can check out this video right here. And we got a sprint going on September the 4th. If you're interested, should be a link below. Like, comment, subscribe, please. It does help the channel out. And I'll see you guys in the next video.